Good morning friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In the last video, I have discussed basics of storage class and what is the purpose of a storage class. I have defined what is a scope, what is a lifetime and what is a memory and what is the default value for static variables and the automatic variables. I hope you have watched that video. If you did not watch that video, if you don't know what is an automatic variable, what is a static variable, the difference between automatic variable and the static variable, I request you to go back and watch that video and come back to this video. In this video, I want to discuss about the register variable and the external variable, because in the storage classes we have four types such as automatic variable, static variable, register variable and external variable. Already I have discussed about the automatic variable and the static variable in the previous video. So in this video I will discuss about the register variable and external variable in detail. So I request everyone to watch the complete video. Now, how can you declare a variable which is a register? You have to specify the storage class as register, and then you have to give the data type. Suppose let's take that I want to store an integer constant. So I'm specifying the data type as int and the name of the variable I'm specifying. Now, if you have declared a variable as a register variable, let me discuss what is its scope, what is its lifetime, where it will be saved when the program is running, and what is its default value. Any storage class will specify these four things. One is the scope, lifetime, memory and default value. What is the definition of a scope? The scope definition is that a scope is a region of the program. It refers where the variables can be accessed after its declaration. Suppose let's take that you have declared a variable inside the function. Now, where you can access it? Can you access it in the function or can you access it in the entire program? If it is a automatic variable and the static variable, you can access them only within the function or block we have already discussed. Now, coming to the register variable, even its scope is also within the function or block only. Is it clear? So if you declared a register variable inside a function, you can access it only within the function only or within the block only. Now, what is its lifetime? Its lifetime is same as the automatic variable, such as inside the function or only within the block only. Whereas the static variable, it is entire program. Okay. Whereas the register variable, the lifetime is within the function or within the block. Now the memory, this is the only the difference between the automatic variable and the register variable. Remaining things are same only. When you have declared a register variable in a program and that program you are running, then where it will be saved, when a particular variable you have declared as a register variable, when you are running that program, where that variable will be stored. Usually all the variables will be saved in the main memory when the program is running. But when it comes to the register variable, they will be saved in the registers. Okay. Usually the accessing something from the register is fast as compared to the main memory. So if you declare some variable as a register variable, the access time you are reducing. That is the only advantage of the register variable. Now the default value is garbage value. If you look at the automatic variable and the register variable, all these three things, one is the scope, lifetime and the default value is same, but for an automatic variable, they will be saved in the main memory when the program is running. For the register variable, it will be saved in the registers. That is the only basic difference between the automatic variable and the register variable. I hope you have understood about the register variable. Now let me discuss about the external variables. Okay. For an external variable, you have to declare it as extern. Okay, it should be small e, extern, data type. Suppose if I want to store an integer constant, I have to write int a and variable name is a. So this extern will tell that this is an external variable and the data type will specify that this variable will store the integer constants and the name of the variable. Okay. Now let me discuss few important things about the external variable. Then I will talk about its scope, lifetime, and the default value and the memory. Now when we declare a variable as int a, then we know that by default it will be an auto variable. We agree it. Am I right? If you does not specify the storage class, by default it is an automatic variable. Unless until you are writing it as a global variable. I have discussed about the basic structure of a program where you can declare a variable as a global variable. After the including all the header files, if you declare a variable before the main function, then it is a global variable. Otherwise, if it just mention the data type and the variable name, by default it will be an automatic variable. Now if you write the statement like int a, you know that it is a data type and it is the variable name. But what it will tell to the compiler? It will tell the two things. One is the definition and the second one is the declaration. Is it clear? This is nothing but you are defining a variable and also declaring a variable. Defining the variable meaning is that you are specifying the name of the variable as a and the data type is integer. So this variable can store integer constants. But if you declare a variable, then only the memory allocation will happen. So if you specify the statement as data type and the variable name, then it is both definition and also the declaration. But when it comes to the extern int a, you are specifying a variable as external variable, then it is only the definition only. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? You are not allocating the memory. Now you can ask me, what is this external variable? Sir, you have said definition and declaration for this variable, but for external variable you are saying that we are just specifying the data type is int and the name of the variable is a. Then where is the memory allocation will happen? The external variables, lot of students or lot of people will say that external variables are the global variables. No, I agree they are somewhere it is related to the global variables, but they are not completely global variables. What I want to say is that if you want to access some variable in different files of your project, suppose let's take that you are writing a project, okay, of related to some organization faculties, okay, in some organization regarding the faculties you are writing some project, okay. Suppose faculty salary is there, okay, particular faculty salary is there which is 1 lakh, let's take that, okay. Now you want to access this variable faculty salary, okay, is a variable, let's take that you are writing it as int salary. It is nothing but related to the faculty salary. Now this variable salary, you want to access them in several files. Are you able to understand? Now project is what? It is a collection of files. Now you want to use this variable called salary in several files in a particular project, then you can make it this variable salary variable as a global variable in one of the file or one of the program. Then if you want to access them in another files, you have to define it as an external variables. Let me discuss with a simple example, then you will understand. Okay, let's take that in my project I have two files, okay, or let's take that I have two files, file 1 and file 2. Is it clear? This is file 1.c, this is file 2.c. Now in file 1.c I have declared a variable as a, okay, which is a global variable. Remember one thing, if you want to access this variable in another file, this variable should be a global variable. Then only with the help of extern keyword you can access this variable in another file. So first thing is that this variable should be a global variable. Now you have declared this variable and defined it also. Now inside the file 2.c you want to access this variable, then you have to write extern int a. Then you can use this variable a inside the file 2.c. So this is about the external variables. These external variables, you can access them in several files or several programs. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? Let me discuss with a simple example for better understanding. First, let me write the file1.c. I have created two files, file1.c, file2.c. Let me write a small program for your better understanding. I am writing hash include stdio.h, okay, in file1.c, and then I am writing int a, okay, then void fun, okay. Is it clear? I am writing a is equal to a plus 9, then printf percentage d a. Are you able to understand it or not? So what I have done is that inside a file 1.c, I have declared a variable as a, which is a global variable. Look at this one. After including all the header files, if you declare any variable, it will act as a global variable. So this global variable you can access in the entire program. So that's why I have not redeclared a variable as a. So this global variable, I want to access it inside the function called fun. You can access it. If it is a global variable, you can access it in the entire program. The scope of a global variable is entire program, and the lifetime is also the same. Okay. Now let's take that you are writing file2.c. Let's take that you have compiled this program. Okay, you have compiled this program. After compiling this program, you are writing file2.c. Now here what you should do is that you have to write hash include. Now you have to include the file1.c. Are you able to understand? You have to include the file1.c into the file2.c. So whatever the things are there, it will come into the file1.c. Now file2.c, sorry. Then you are declaring a variable called external variable with name a. Now whatever this variable a you have already declared, so you are using it here. Are you able to understand? So that's why it is external variable. You are accessing it. Now once it is done, you have written void main, okay, and then you have written a statement called fun, okay, and you have written the get ch, and then you are closing this one. So now look at this one, fun, which is a function you are calling, which is a user defined function which you have declared in another file. See, fun1.1, fun file we have defined here. Am I right or wrong? Which is a file1.c. Now this is a file2.c. You are just calling. This is a function calling. This is the function definition. Okay. Now once you include the file1.c, all these things will include inside this program. So this file2.c even consists of these all things. Now once if you compile this program and execute this program, what is the output you will get? You will get the output as 9. Why it is so? Let me discuss for you. Now this is a global variable. If it is a global variable, the default value will be 0. Are you able to understand it or not? And then you have written a statement as a is equal to a plus 9. So which is 0 plus 9, that value 9 will be printed. So as you have included the file1.c in file2, then this entire code will come. So that's why we have used the external storage class. So if you want to access any variable in several files, then you can use the external, but whatever the variable you have defined, it should be a global variable. Then you can access it in the several files. So this is about the external variables. So the scope is the entire program, and the lifetime is also in the several programs, and the default value will be 0, and memory, they will be stored in the main memory when you are executing the program. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? But remember this point, after compiling this program, then only you should compile this program, then only you will get the output. Without compiling this program, if you compile, then it will give an error for you. I hope you have understood about the register variables and external variables. If you still have any doubts related to these two concepts, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.